Well, Stash. What are we talking
All right,
about
guys. Yes. So
The
this is
big
going to be a fun one.
Headliner.
I hope you guys are ready. Hope you got your list.
Headliner 2.5 hours in.
Yeah, this
It
is the Nintendo.
Yeah. It happens
It was a big week, to be fair. There was a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So everyone, this is the Nintendo Direct predictions. So just to give a brief overview, as we know, Nate the Hate on his podcast this week stated that he's been told a Nintendo Direct is happening this month after Bonanza comes out. He does not know the date, the week, or the time. He was very clear that he wanted to be quoted very clearly, so don't ask him.
Or the format. Don't forget that.
Or the format. Doesn't know if it's a general or partner, He just knows it's happening, okay? So first off, I'll ask everyone, are you hyped and do you believe this? Josh.
You guys already know my... Oh, go ahead.
Shut down. Shut up, Gamebird.
I'll go preemptively. I'm hyped and I believe it.
Okay.
It's just a drag and drive direct.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Finally, I needed that.
That's hilarious.
No, I'm. Did you ask if we're hyped? Because yes, I mean always.
Yeah.
Of course,
right?
Anything that has
Direct,
to do
of
with the
course.
Nintendo Direct, we're hyped. Was that the only question I'm supposed to answer at this point? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Flam.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I think I do believe him. I mean, when has he been wrong, right? At least when he's this confident, he's just like,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he's always been like, well, maybe. But then there's the time when he's like this, it's like, oh, we're getting something. Something's in the works. I mean, and it makes sense too. Like, there's so many gaps in the back of the year at this point. We still don't have a Metroid Prime release date and all that stuff. So, yeah. So it makes sense. But I'm hyped. I'm always love a new Nintendo Direct.
Who doesn't? Roger, how
Right.
you feel?
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Hype and believe it. Again, Nate's not been wrong pretty much this whole year. He's been pretty confident about what he's saying. I feel like he's been smart to comment on when he doesn't know stuff as well, which I think is good and adds to the credibility. But it just makes sense. I feel like the fact that it didn't happen last week and knowing that we have a presents next week, I was like, well, that's weird. The only time they usually ever have them that close is back during the days of like E3 when they would have the presents the Monday before and they'd have the big Nintendo presentation at the end of the week or over the weekend. So that part of it is odd, but then also like with the presents, if there is like a shadow drop of champions, like a lot of people believe, or like more information about Legends ZA, my assumption is that this Direct would go over probably the Mario Kart, the first range of DLC or whatever, right? We'll probably have information about, well, I guess we're not getting to predictions. I'll wait.
Okay.
But yes, I believe it and I'm hyped. Yeah.
Okay. Eric, do you have some more you'd like to add?
Yeah. No, I mean, I am really hoping we get one because I like to see more shit coming out. So
yeah, who doesn't want to?
I want it.
All right. Gamebird, do you want anything else to add?
Yeah, again, I 100% believe it. I'm hyped. It didn't take Nate the Hate for me to believe it. I've been saying it on the podcast like the last 3 or 4 episodes.
Yes, you have.
I 100% have thought we were getting a Direct by the end of July, and I'm right there. I think it needs to happen.
For the record, I believe we all have, as a group, been saying this. So, we knew this was coming. Nate, thoughts?
Well, considering I am Nate and I am great.
Yeah.
The
Nate
opposite.
the Great.
Dude, when Nate the Hate speaks, it's like a fool's errand to doubt him. Sure, you can be wrong sometimes, because things change in the industry. They do. But what he learned, or I guess a pattern I have noticed since last year, because last year he was pretty confident it was going to be Switch will be revealed in March, and then it was delayed internally, supposedly. So he, ever since then, people started doubting anything he says, because he was touting March for like 5 straight months, and then said on the Game and Talk podcast it will be revealed in March, and then literally the next week the news broke that it was delayed.
Right.
And then he came after that and said, oh, I just talked to my sources. They're saying the same thing, but it's like, well, that's kind of a convenience thing there that you just said it was going to happen, and now someone else broke the story. Now so people were like, oh, does he really know? Is he making things up? But he had his redemption arc, not just saying all those Xbox games were going multi-platform when no one believed it, and then they all ended up going multi-platform, and he was right about all of that. Also, confidently saying the Switch 2 is being revealed on Thursday the 16th, the Monday before it happened, and we get to that Wednesday. Biggest podcast day we've ever had, Nintenbyte podcast. Why? Because Nintendo didn't pre-announce that they were going to reveal it the next day, and everyone thought he was a liar, and he was getting trashed on. And
then
boom.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
And we confidently called our podcast, Nintendo Switch 2 will be revealed tomorrow.
We sure
And the
did.
podcast blew up. We had
Wasn't I on
thousands-
that one? I'm pretty sure I was on.
You might have been
Yeah,
on
think
that
so.
one.
I think I was. Yeah.
It
That
was
was fun.
wild. It was absolutely wild. The whole chat was like, you guys are full of shit. You can't
Yeah.
believe you. And I'm just like, dude, when Nate the Hate posted the image leaning back, I'm like, oh, it's fucking over.
Yeah.
Listen, he just fucking know. I'm like, yeah, no, it's happening. And sure as shit, wake up. It's there. It happened. And we had to do a bonus episode. We were so confident we had the bonus episode already planned and already
Right.
scheduled, ready to go.
Right.
When Nate the Hate is that confident, you know what's happening. And one thing I think he learned from that March situation was no more talking about it till we're practically there, because then the plans probably aren't going to change. And guess what? He said it this week with 2 weeks left to go. We're practically there. So, I mean, because he doesn't know which week it is, you got to say it now in case it is next week, right? So, yeah, and he, by the way, on the show, he said his personal opinion is probably the last week. He doesn't think it'll be the same week as the Pokemon Presents. I will note that Pokemon Presents on Tuesday. You could easily put a direct on that Thursday. It can still happen. And traditionally, a direct does happen within a week of a Pokemon Presents. So it fits that timeline as well if you pay attention to, of course, Nintendo's been breaking patterns all over the place. So those patterns even matter anymore. Hello, a direct in July at all already just breaks patterns. So that's not a game direct. They do game directs whenever they feel like they need to. But yeah, you gotta believe them. Like, if you don't believe it, it's a fool's errand. When it's this close to happening, he's like 100% right. So
Okay. I'll just say that, yes, again, just kind of reiterate what you said. We've always believed this. We always believe a direct was coming in July. We've been saying that. And yeah, we've always supported Nate. A lot of the stuff that he has said, we have been saying for like a year. So I think we're completely on the same page there. Okay. So Nate mentioned during the podcast that he knows of some developers who are not being allowed. And again, we talked about this, what, a month or two ago? But they're not being allowed to share their games because Nintendo is making them reveal their titles in the next Nintendo Direct, which again, this was literally a topic where we talked about Nintendo and Nintendo's control over the narrative. Yeah, this is not new. Again, we don't need to really, I guess, discuss this much, right? Josh, how do you feel about this?
It makes sense at this point because where has Xbox been outside of Tony Hawk? You know, like
Yeah.
But even this, I firmly firmly believe that Nintendo cares about their third party support this time around more so than ever before because they have a machine that's like basically like what the GameCube was, right? To where it was like you could pretty much compete across the board with everything. And I mean, obviously, I'm not saying this is like a PS5 Pro. I mean, not by any means, but you know, I've been playing Cyberpunk. I've been playing Street Fighter 6. It's fantastic. Like, it is fantastic. I love this system, and I'm more blown away from it and getting more into. Just feel like I'm getting any more into gaming right now, which is usually I just talk about games. I don't play them nearly as much, you know. So that's been a huge thing. But I think, I mean, we saw right off the rip, you know, third parties' expectations weren't as high as they had hoped with their sales. And now, the like what we saw. I don't know if this was new, but I hadn't seen it yet. Like the soccer game for EA got
FC,
announced.
aka
Was
FIFA.
that an announcement like today or yesterday through a
It
tweet?
was on
or
Twitter today. I saw Wario 64 post it.
Yeah. And I
it's
mean,
a game
Nintendo
key card.
themselves Oh, of course, yeah. Well, and even
Better than a
even
code in a
that's
box from
It
EA. I
is.
was expecting a code in a box, to be honest with you.
for sure. So it seems like they're drip feeding some of this stuff, and at the same time, I mean, the floodgates could literally open if Xbox got the go ahead to say, like, the rumored like Master Chief Collection, like Gears of War. There's so many older games on Xbox that could run on Switch 2 perfectly, right? Even, I mean, where's Doom? Where's Monster Hunter? Is it Wilds? Which has lost like 98% of their player base or something.
Yeah.
from
And
what I
Wilds is
saw.
not coming anytime soon, too. Just as a side note, because Wild struggles on PC. That's like a whole big thing about it. It's not even optimized. I don't see a world in which Wilds ever comes to Switch 2. And honestly, knowing Capcom and like knowing the Monster Hunter franchise and knowing that, Rise mainly started as a Switch game and then got ported to PC, the assumption is that that team making the more classic traditional style Monster Hunter games is pretty much exclusively making those for Nintendo first. So the guess is that when we do get a Monster Hunter on Switch 2, it'll be the one built for Switch 2, as
Gotcha.
opposed to a struggling one that is now floundering to keep
Josh,
its
do you mind
player
if I
base.
pause you for a sec
No, go ahead.
before we get into the actual predictions?
Oh, it's not even predictions. It's
Okay.
just to wrap it up. I think Nintendo's being strategic with trying to leave windows so that third parties actually sell, and not overshadowing everything with their first party stuff like they did with Switch 1 in that first year, because they had no third parties.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're a movie theater and they give you the creative control to say what weekends movies are coming out. You're not going to have all 4 of your summer blockbuster bangers coming out the same weekend. You want to spread those babies out so they can all breathe and make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the same thing here. Flavlam, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think I mean I'm on the same thing. It's like you want to spread that out, and it's like not something you want to just stack on top of each other. I mean, I just concur. I don't have too much to say on it. I agree, man.
All right. And Roger, you feel the same there?
Yeah, 110%. I'm sorry, I'm somewhat distracted because Bonanza just might.
We're all over
I'm downloading it right now.
Bonanza.
I'm just gonna be totally honest. I'm distracted.
I know, yeah.
Everybody's over here
I literally got thinking it was like,
downloading.
"Hello from Nintendo," and I'm like, "Oh, here it is. There's my code." All right, boom. So I was entering the whole thing.
No copies. It's live now.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm good." No, again, what I will say about the third party thing too, and like the idea that like these companies are being held specifically like to show off their games during a direct. I mean, there's so much we already know about, right? Like all the Microsoft stuff that's been leaked to high hell, all those games, other than Tony Hawk, like someone brought up, which by the way I've been playing recently, is actually very good. Really good. But I feel like Capcom will probably have a pretty big presence with their Resident Evil games. Probably like RE4 remake and the kind of stuff that Village, probably like a regular version as opposed to the cloud version. You're probably going to get your Square Enixes with like whatever the new Team Asano game is. You're going to get your Bandai Namco's as well. Like I do think there is going to be big third party support shown during this, but I honestly feel like for this direct, it'll probably have a primary focus of first party stuff because again, there's so much we know about. Like in terms of big first party games that we just don't know important things about. Like we haven't seen gameplay for Kirby Air Riders. That game comes out this year, right? We have no date for that game. We know about Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but don't know the release date for that at all. Have not seen anything beyond those, like, no pun intended, first 2 sections of the game, one that was in the demo and one that was like the psychic thing they showed off during the treehouse. I feel like there's a lot of stuff they could focus on And again, with that Mario anniversary coming up, I feel like something that's a very safe bet is the announcement of some type of like Mario anniversary direct and being like, stay tuned in 2 months for a full direct focused on this. Because I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what they did with the last one, right? They had a Nintendo Direct and then said during that Direct, by the way, there's going to be a Mario anniversary Direct in a couple months. Look forward to that. And that's probably when you get your Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition, your Mario Maker. That's probably when you get your, Mario 3D All-Stars reprint with Galaxy 2 for a Switch 2 edition. That's probably, when you get your Mario Movie 2 casting news for like the Koopalings and Yoshi. Like there's a lot of stuff they could pack in there. And I think the other thing we got to remember for a Direct, right, is that like these Directs also are still going to have Switch 1 games in them. We have Rhythm Heaven. We've got Tomodachi Life. Like we have things that are coming up, and there probably is still more between like the Robobot stuff. In terms of new games, I guess I'll wait because I'm sure we'll predict about like, 1 or 2 big new first party games that'll probably be shown here. And I have 2 strong predictions for that, but I do think like we already know so much that we just need information for that. I think this one's relatively cut and dry. Yeah.
Okay. Eric, Gamebird, Nate, do you guys want to jump into predictions since I think we've all been saying the same thing every week?
Yeah. I think we dive in.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
I will play cleanup because I do have a longer list, and I think it's best if I play cleanup for that, so we don't mention things twice. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. I was just talking
Let's
about
do
it. All right, here are the 2 big ones. These are the 2 big ones. I think it's Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem. I think those are the 2. I think it's Animal Crossing and Fire. I think Animal Crossing was too big of a phenomenon with Switch 1. And obviously it's in the zeitgeist. We already know of a Splatoon spin-off game. We already had the Zelda games there at launch. Mario, again, the anniversary is going to have that. We're getting Donkey Kong. The one big one left is Zelda. I mean, excuse me, not Zelda, is Animal Crossing. Because, if we don't have like a mainline Zelda thing, that's like the one core thing that's still kind of missing. Do I think it's this year? No. Do I even think it's next year? I don't know. I think it's like a wait and see. But I think the announcement happens this year. I think we get the announcement that they are working on Animal Crossing, even if we don't see it. It could be something similar to like what we got with Tom Nook in the one where they showed Isabelle for Smash Brothers, where it was like, by the way, we're working on an Animal Crossing. Stay tuned for more news next year. Literally something as simple as that. I think they could throw into this just to let people know, like, for sure, we're working on this and it's coming. The other big one, like I said, in terms of a big announcement, is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, there has not been one since Engage. We know that team is working on something, right? I think with 3 Houses, being such a big success, and then Engage doing well, but not necessarily like lighting the world on fire. I think they're probably looking to go back to like a 3 Houses type game. And we also I don't know. I feel like Fire Emblem's something that we all expected to get a remake game on Switch 1 that didn't end up happening. So I think like the time is right for that. And knowing the release dates for those are usually early year or early summer games, meaning that if it is early next year, right, if we do get the next Fire Emblem like February or March of next year, they're going to start probably showing it off around now. And then if it is summer of next year, then we'll probably get like the big blowout for it during that January Direct, like the early Winter Direct, and an announcement could still happen here for that. So I think that, again, is like something I feel very strongly we're going to see. The only other small little prediction I have, because I know you guys are all going to have predictions and I don't want to step on too many toes, but I feel really confident about this one. I think we are going to get, at minimum, one Switch 2 edition announced during this. And I feel very, 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 very confident, like underline, it's Pikmin 4. I think it's Pikmin 4 Nintendo Switch 2 edition. I feel extremely strongly about it. I feel like with Pikmin 4 being such a big deal for them, like, again, reinvigorating the franchise, getting a lot more new fans on board, seeing how they're treating Pikmin as a franchise, where now it's like one of their key things in all their stores alongside Animal Crossing, Splatoon, and Mario and Zelda. I just think Pikmin makes the most sense. And I don't think we are getting a new Pikmin game within the next like year or 2 years, because that team traditionally works on Splatoon or on the Mario games. And the Mario games, as we know, we're waiting on. And that 2D team is probably working on something. So I don't think Pikmin is like in the near future, but I do think building upon what made Pikmin 4 special, having some type of like bonus single player mode, probably like a Louis story, right? Because Louis had his whole thing going on in Pikmin 4. We never really see it. We had the Olimar side story instead. I feel like having a Louis 4 or 5 hour long separate new single player thing, in addition to Pikmin 4, having it 30, at 60 FPS unlocked, having it like HDR support, 4K. I think that would make a huge deal. Maybe even like a new multiplayer mode, like throw Bingo Battle in there or something. But I feel like Pikmin 4, I feel super strongly they're going to want to get a Switch 2 edition out. I honestly think it's coming out in the first year of Switch 2. I think we're getting it like soon. And I think they're going to announce it there. Yeah.
Roger, let me ask you this because I've mentioned it on the podcast before.
Yeah.
But I think it's an absolute lock with Pikmin that they all get mouse mode.
I also agree. I think they all get mouse mode. I think what's going to happen though, realistically, is if we do get Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition, my guess is that mouse capability and that HDR support and the frame rate upgrade is probably a free upgrade for 1, 2, and 3. Because 1, 2, and 3 already exist, right? And they've done this before with like new play control. And they're going to continue with these free Switch 1 upgrades. They've done this already. I feel like I could see a whole Pikmin section dedicated to like free Switch upgrades for 1, 2, and 3. And by the way, boom, here we go. Switch 2 edition of Pikmin 4, new single player mode, big push for that series. Please wait a little longer for the next major installment in Pikmin, but we have something for you this year. And like, that's that. Yeah. But I feel like if you had to ask me one game that I guarantee think is in this that has not been announced yet, I think Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition is like 100% full stop going to be in this. Yeah.
I like that pick a lot.
Nice.
I just want to say real quick, I think with all the picks that you mentioned, all of them, mouse support is like
all three.
Pretty clutch with all three of those, you know.
Yeah, Animal Crossing with the design, Animal Crossing with your menus, Fire Emblem with moving your units, and of course, with Pikmin, moving the Pikmin around. And I think that's something that is also important, right? Is that we don't really have something fully showcasing mouse support beyond Drag and Drive right now. And I think they need that for one of their core franchises. And while I think like it'll be prevalent in whatever the next mainline Mario is, I feel like they need something now, right? They need something to like showcase to people right now. Look at this cool game with mouse support. And again, Mario Maker makes a lot of sense, or like Mario Paint, but that I don't think will be here. I think those Mario announcements are saved for that anniversary direct in 2 months. I really think it's got to be something else. And so again, all three of those feel likely, but if I had to choose one, Pikmin 4 Switch 2 edition. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. I like those.
Yep.
Full Lamb, what do you got?
I've said this for many moons now, and I'm going to say it again. Fucking Nintendo Land 2, baby. I need Nintendo Land 2. I need it.
I wish,
need something to show off the mouse controls that's like actually fun. I would feel like you could retrofit like all of the games that were on the Wii U version, and then you could make you could have like the classic land or whatever, and then you could do like a thing where it's like all the new ones that are based on Nintendo Switch 2 gimmicks and mouse controls and maybe gyroscopes and whatever else. I don't know, man. I feel like people sleep on Nintendo Land, man. They sleep on it so much, and I wish we could bring it back. Wish we could bring it back somehow, and it didn't have to have all the Wii U gimmicks attached to it, unfortunately. But yeah, that's like my off the wall pick. I think Pikmin was a great pull, actually. That I don't know why I didn't think of Pikmin, but that was a fantastic pull. I think we might get Animal Crossing a little bit sooner rather than later. That's the one point. I think we will get something Animal Crossing, but I think we'll get it sooner rather than later. I feel like it's been an adequate amount of time.
Yeah.
Even I hope it's not a Switch 2 edition and then they add a bunch of DLC with it, and it's more of like its own, like it's a different game, right? I hope it's a different like Animal Crossing, and they do a lot more like support with it as well. I feel like that's something that New Horizons fell on its face with, was that continual support. And I hope that if it is a new one, it gets more support from Nintendo themselves. I'll leave it at that, because I know we got a lot of folks to go around.
You.
But I know
Bless you.
Bless you.
Came out of nowhere.
But
Sorry,
yeah,
did not mean to- that was not an intentional interrupt. I promise.
no, you're fine. Dude, I got DK Bonanzas right. It's on my screen. I'm like
Right
itching.
here, man.
Like,
Yeah,
how am I?
it's
How am
right
I? I'm
here.
like,
Footblam's like, dude, wrap it up, man.
need to play it.
I was honestly on the we wouldn't see a direct until September for Mario, right?
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you like, the
Yeah.
year is pretty packed when you think about it. We just don't have a lot of dates. Like,
Mhm.
there is quite a bit of stuff already announced. So I'm gonna lean towards the maybe a bit more towards like a partner side of things, and like I said, a lot of those Xbox titles and and just seeing what they can. I mean, even like the Rare Replay, there's a lot. There's quite the library that they could dig into.
Yes.
That being said, like, you know, I think we all kind of assume there's going to be a Mario Direct, but I do wonder if, like, I've been kicking around this idea of like a Galaxy 2 remake to kind of fill that void for a 3D Mario, but with a Bowser's Fury 2, like maybe they keep that going
That
as
would
like
be sick.
right, like just a
Josh,
little
you're
like
cooking. You're cooking.
like a little like bite-sized like here's the second course before the or the second appetizer maybe before the main, and that gives us all of the potentially, well, those of us that purchase, but I assume they're going to re-release 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, the update. I think that's the thing, is that like All Stars seems like a given for when we get to the Mario Direct, right?
Yeah,
But they
right.
straight up like did a patch for the game that
Right.
literally is not on store shelves
Yeah.
for some reason that we don't know for Switch 2. And I
Wow.
think like knowing Nintendo and knowing how they like having things like out for limited amounts of time and thinking about like stupid decisions that they would make that are going to make a lot of people mad, but we're all going to buy anyway. I think the idea of a Switch 2 edition of 3D All-Stars with Galaxy on it, where if you already own All-Stars, it's like a $10 upgrade and you get Galaxy 2 in the soundtrack or whatever.
Yep.
But that
Yes.
it's back in stores again physically, and you're going to be able to get it, and it's exclusively on Switch 2 is like no-brainer, definitely going to do it. I honestly think they knew that was going to be the case back in like 2020, 2021, whenever they did it, that they knew this was eventually going to happen. And they were like, that's why we kept Galaxy 2.
What would be sick
Yeah.
is if this is super random, but you mentioned like throwing a soundtrack on. Bring back like the cool bonuses to games. Throw on the tech demo for Mario 128. Do you guys all remember that?
Oh,
with
that'd
all
be
the
sick. I
Marios
love
in
that.
there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, bring that. Throw that on there.
Right.
That'd be cool.
That would be.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm leaning towards a lot of third party, like seeing Madden, seeing the soccer. Like, there's, I mean, even like the wrestling. I was just looking at the eShop.
Yeah.
It's like $130 for one version of the 2K wrestling.
That's classic 2K for you.
That's
though.
crazy.
2K's always doing that every year.
I'm like, I thought 80
$130.
was
Good
bad.
Lord.
And here's like 100. It's like 129 or something. 129.99.
Oh, man.
So it's wild. But the other thing, I think I want to touch on the Animal Crossing real quick. I agree, but I think again there's going to be strategy when they come out with, especially Animal Crossing. They know it's a system seller, and they know they know. I mean, they basically put the Animal Crossing Switch in their main line. It was in all of their main marketing after a while. So it'll be one of those like okay, we're starting to see a lull in sales. Let's get Animal Crossing. Let's get Mario. Like, I think all of those are going to be somewhat strategic. But leaning into that mouse stuff, I want to see a surprise RTS, and I would love it to be Xenoblade, and to see like just armies of Mechon and all, like just fill in the battlefield, and you get to pick different heroes. And I used to play a Lord of the Rings RTS on the 360, and I got to tell you guys, that and Halo Wars, you get a couple buddies together, you will laugh at like and like you know, this guy's attacking my base. Like, it's just, there's so much fun.
What if they do Mushroom Kingdom Total War? You know, and you have like a legion of
Sure.
Goombas. and stuff.
Yeah, it would be incredible. Like, it would
Has
be
Halo Wars ever been re-released?
There's a sequel. Like there was the
But they've never done a re-release of the original. Because I'm like, you said that, and I never in a million years would have thought of that game. But dude, Halo Wars is actually perfect for Switch 2 with the mouse
right.
controls and with the strategy aspect. And like, look, Halo needs to take wins where they can get it nowadays. I feel like
yeah,
doing
for
a
sure.
re-release of that and throwing it on Switch 2 would probably give a lot of goodwill to that franchise. Yeah, that's a deep pick,
Yeah.
man. I didn't even consider Halo Wars.
But yeah, just an RTS, like a really. I'm hoping with the mouse support, like the mouse support this time around, means that there's some kind of first party RTS in the works, you know. And I know that like Fire Emblem is like it kind of it somewhat scratches that itch, right? I totally get it, but there's something to being able to create an entire army and then move it to a base, and then that triangle that's happening of like, oh, the air support takes out the ground and ground, you know, whatever the case may be, the heavy and the light and blah 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 blah. I just want to see something. Whether it's Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, some of those those IP that are just like they're just ripe for something like that. You know, we got to see the XCOM like Mario games last gen with I can't the
rabbits.
Sparks of Hope and the rabbit, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And you know, so just to continue that like what third party is going to get some first party IP that's going to blow us away in this generation. And I think the RTS strategy with the mouse support is one of those areas we might see.
I like it a lot.
I'm with it.
Hell yeah.
Eric, what you got?
Yeah, it's got to be a big old third party dump. Because
Big old dump.
big old dump.
Sure.
Right on the chest.
Yep. As for possible Nintendo games that could be there, I mean, we got to have you'd figure we'd eventually get a Metroid Prime 4 release date. I mean, where the hell is that at? I'd like to see a Luigi's Mansion 4. That would be really fun.
That'd be awesome.
But, yeah, I mean, outside of the mass amounts of, you know, I'm kind of with Josh a little bit where I could see this being a partner showcase because of third party that just needs to, you know, that according to Nate being held back, you know, from announcing this, it's going to need a gigantic just dump of games for third parties. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. It's going to be a lot of third party stuff. And then if you do hit some big Nintendo games, Metroid Prime 4 release date and or hopefully Luigi's Mansion 4.
I like it. Game Bird, what do you got?
All right. I went stash style. I put together a little list for this one, but I'll make sure to go through it quickly for the sake of time. And a lot of these are games that, you know, before the DK Direct was announced and we were kind of having that direct discussion that I mentioned at that time that I think are likely contenders to be at the next Direct. So there'll be repeats from, you know, a month ago, but I think this is going to be a pretty meaty Direct. I don't know that it's going to be the banger that the September Direct is, because usually that's when they go balls to the wall. But I do think there is a need for some good stuff. And I'll get into that as the list goes on. But starting on the basic side, I think third-party release dates for games that we already know are coming. I won't dive into all of them, but when I say that, I'm talking about games like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Elden Ring for Switch 2. Games that we know are coming, but we need release dates for. On top of that, third-party support. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole list of all the third-party games that I think could get announced, but I kind of want to reiterate ones that I've mentioned before because my opinion hasn't changed on these. And you'll see there's a theme here because these are all, with a couple exceptions, these are all RPGs. I think RPGs do really well on Nintendo platforms, and I honestly, truly believe that Switch 2 is going to be the best place to play RPGs. It's a hybrid console at home and on the go. So examples of that would be Persona 3 Reload, the Persona 3 remake, obviously the brand new Persona 4 revival. In that same vein, Metaphor ReFantazio. These are 3 of the greatest JRPGs of all time. They belong on Switch. Deca Police, a level 5 RPG that was announced a while ago on the Switch and has been delayed multiple times. The game looked really good. I have a feeling as long as development's going fine and the delays aren't of concern, I think that one looked really good and could be a sleeper hit. The new Professor Layton, it's another one that we already know about. I expect to see very soon and get a date for. You're muted, Roger.
You're still muted, Roger.
Yeah, still muted.
Yeah. Bro's freaking out about
Figure-
Professor Layton,
Nah,
just like
I
me
think-
momentarily.
Nah, the little puppet Kong is fucking with his shit. Happens.
Yeah. I said
Dude,
Professor Layton, I just
Bro, Puppet Kong and unplugged his mic, dude. What the hell? He said, if I can't have the mic, then nobody can. Nope, still nothing.
Still nothing. Well, keep going since he's still trying to
I'll
figure
keep going, but I
Can't
want to
wait
hear
for
your
the
thoughts,
Professor
Roger.
Layton
So just remember what you want to say. So those are the RPGs that came to mind for third-party support. Some of them we already know about, but some of them are not announced for Switch currently. Within that third-party support, I wanted to mention 2 other possibilities that I think are likely. This is one again that I've mentioned before. I actually expected it to be announced for Switch 2 first, and it wasn't. The new Suda 51 game, Romeo Must Die. That's one I thought Suda would come out swinging for Switch 2. It was announced in the PlayStation Showcase, but I think it's going to come. And lastly, I would not be surprised for this direct to see something from Platinum, whether that's Astral Chain 2, whether it's a new IP, or a new edition or a new version of a game that they've already made. Moving on, I think there will be some indies thrown in here because I do think there's some indies that are worth more than an indie direct.
Sure.
Examples of this are Hollow Knight Silksong. I've always expected that we'll get the release date in a Nintendo event. I just feel like indies do best on Nintendo. I feel like they fit, again, just like JRPGs on that hybrid hardware. Hades 2, that's another one.
Yep.
Super influential RPG. I've got 2 more indies that I think are strong contenders. Oh,
He's back.
Did we get you?
We got
It's
him
back.
back.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay.
I responded to the Hades 2 thing and I wasn't sure, but I was like, no, we're back. I don't know what happened there. I think my Rode Unify just crapped out. It's like, you guys have been live for 3.5 hours. What are you doing? Also, for just real quick, not to tangent too much, but that you guys, I just linked in the chat for you guys. That is a thing that nobody is talking about right now. This is like the best kept secret in the industry. Essentially, E3 is coming back next year, but it's not called E3. They're relabeling it as a thing called Econ. So it's like 2 eyes, like the Wii, and then Con.
Yeah.
And Nintendo has already signed on for this, as have Microsoft and Sony. So literally every big publisher is already here. They haven't talked about it. It's in Vegas and it's in April.
That's in
and
Vegas.
so
Interesting.
So I know you guys were talking about like, potentially talking to some Nintendo people or working some stuff out. That's the place to do it, is that Econ event.
Dude,
yeah.
That's
more of like a media type event. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 3-hour drive for me. I'll be there.
There you go. You should go for sure.
Yeah.
It's in April and it's in Vegas. Vegas is cheap to go to, so
easy. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Actually, we could fly right over.
Let's do it, guys.
Look
There
what.
you go. You go to Econ. Sign up for Econ next year and go, and then you do a live show from there or something. Go early.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Dude, Take-Two is there, Ubisoft, Warner Brothers Games.
Everybody major is signed up. Yeah, it's already
EA, Epic Games. Jeez.
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah.
How does nobody know about this?
Because they haven't like publicly announced it really. I found out about this. This would have been last like July or something.
Yeah.
Because the ESA put some press release out about the fact that like they're making some new convention. And people were like, yeah, whatever. Nobody's gonna sign up for it. And then like 3 months ago, right around the time of like the Switch 2 stuff, I saw the website updated and it had Nintendo front and center. I was like, what is this?
Bro,
that is cool. We should definitely think about going, guys.
Join Summer Games Fest to save
exactly.
his life.
But they're all like,
we'll
go to this.
Adam.
Right.
I remember when ESA announced this, and I put it on my radar, and just like you said, Roger, like I didn't hear anything about it.
Nothing. Yeah.
So when you just sent it, I remember this, but seeing everyone who's going.
It's crazy now. The
And then it's
lineup is
actually
like
happening.
everybody, and that
Yeah.
none of them are saying anything, which is also weird. Like none of the publishers have been like, "Oh yeah, we're attending this thing." I don't know if it's because it's still a little far out, right? Obviously, it's April of next year, but still, it's like it's a lot of people to sign up and be like, "We have booth space. We're doing a whole thing for this." And it's like you said, it's Vegas, so it's a really quick flight. It's just like, go
Yeah.
right over, and then you
Yeah,
can party
quick
afterwards
flight
too.
For
Exactly.
everybody,
Right.
me and my DCS.
Right. You're on the opposite side of the country, sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Flights are still cheap though. DC to Vegas.
No,
is
they
pretty good.
I've-
Yeah.
yeah, it's not bad.
No.
Hell
This is
yeah.
kind of cool.
There he is.
Yeah,
There he
cool.
is.
Welcome back,
back.
at 64, Josh. Welcome back.
Dude, this is. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk
All
about
right.
it.
I mean, I
Cool deal.
literally,
All right.
it's nothing to really sign up for.
Gamebird, what else you got?
There's nothing.
Yeah. So just to finish up the indies, and just to preface, guys, I don't think all these things are going to be there. These are just things that I think stand a good chance of showing up in a
Yeah.
direct at the end of the month.
That's how my list is.
So
Yeah.
again, just to go back over the indies, Hollow Knight Silksong release date, Hades 2, Slay the Spire 2. This is another one that like I could totally see in a Nintendo Direct. And Witchbrook. Do you guys remember Witchbrook? Does anyone
Yes.
remember this game?
Witchbrook.
Yeah,
It
No.
looks
Pixel art
rad.
game.
It's like a
I told Michaela she would like it.
it's who is it? Is it Chucklefish that's
Chucklefish.
making it? It's like the Harry Potter.
Yes.
That like the Harry Potter style one. So that's
But
it
you're
that
a
I put
witch.
for the indies. I could see Mina the Hollower as well, just to add one more in there that I forgot to put in my list. And then Nintendo games. So Metroid Prime 4, we need a release date. The game
Yeah.
comes out this year, unless there's been a delay that we don't know about. God forbid, hopefully not. But I also see, and I get this one from Stash, because Stash has said this 1,000 times. Prime 2 and 3, baby. Like, this is something that's been rumored for a long time. Something that a lot of people have given up on. Stash has been championing it for like.
I'm
6
there.
months,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So,
I'm gonna explain to why as well.
yeah. I'm not going into explanations,
I know you
Stash. I
won't.
know you will. So I'm just gonna run through. Age of Calamity release date. We know it
Yep.
comes this winter. Winter's rolling up, folks. Where is it? I think we'll see Splatoon Raiders, but I don't think we'll get a release date. I just think we'll get
Agreed.
more of a gameplay trailer. Here's an interesting one. NSO. Oh, wait, actually, one more. Sorry, one more Switch game. Kirby Air Raiders. We're going to see Kirby Air Raiders.
Oh,
gameplay.
100%.
It launches this year. We're going to
Yeah.
see that without a doubt. Here's an interesting one. NSO. Smash Melee. I think that I don't know if it's now or September, but I'm just going to guess it for both. I think Smash Melee. I know what Stash thinks for Smash, but I'm on the Melee train. I don't think
Didn't
we
the
do the
64
Ultimate
one
Night.
just get confirmed essentially on the?
Did it? Did I miss
yeah.
that?
It was in that thing with Nintendo posted a video
I missed that.
of like the build of NSO and
Yeah.
games that they're testing on it.
Scratch
Yeah.
it. I'm scratching it. I'm pulling off the list.
DK64 and Smash were literally both on there, so you're good.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
pulling that off the
Yeah.
list. Thank you for
Glover
that.
was on there.
Yep.
All
yep,
right.
Yep. Glover was on
And
there
then
too.
lastly, here's the thing. Anyone who's on the podcast is already familiar with this question because I've asked it like the last 3 podcasts. What is Nintendo's big holiday game this year? Because whatever it is, it hasn't been announced yet. We do not have a massive Switch 2 holiday game. Traditionally, your holiday game is the biggest game of the year.
Uh-huh.
So is there a game that's as big or bigger than Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza? Now, I say Switch 2 game because Pokemon is a Switch 1 game that's has a Switch 2 version. Metroid Prime 4 is a Switch 1 game that has a Switch 2 version. Is Nintendo's holiday game a Switch 1 game that has a Switch 2 version? Me personally, I don't think so. Now, when I say as big or bigger, it doesn't get bigger than Mario Kart World. It's literally their biggest IP. But there are things that could generate massive hype for different reasons. 2 of these IPs have been mentioned by you guys tonight. The 2 of the ones that come to mind is the next Monolith game. And I know when you think Monolith, you don't think the size of Mario or Zelda. But again, I've said this before. This is a company that's getting more popular with every release. The fan base for the Xenoblade games is expanding and expanding with every game. The games are critically acclaimed. I think what they've done on Switch 1 is amazing. I can only imagine what they're able to do with the more capable hardware of Switch 2. I think they could release, whether it's a new IP, a brand new Xeno game. It doesn't have to be Xenoblade 4. It could be Xeno whatever, Xenosphere, Xeno Arc. I don't know. Whatever they have planned next, I think it is going to be a showstopper. And I think it's potential. Another one that was mentioned tonight that I think is potential is Fire Emblem. Bring back the Three Houses. It was a Game of the Year It was a Game of the Year winner by the fans. Critically acclaimed. One of the highest rated Switch 1 games.
Yep.
And personally in my top 5, maybe even in my top 3 Switch games, to be honest with you. The game's that freaking good. Those are my 2 top guesses, but I do want to mention a couple others. I think Luigi's Mansion 4, that's a game that's been floated around. It's stunning. It's become a bigger and bigger seller with every release. And I think they could do wonders. Look at how Nintendo's reinvented Zelda. Look at how they've reinvented Donkey Kong and Mario Kart. What can they do with Luigi's Mansion 4? Another one I want to mention is, and I think this one is like maybe the least exciting, but again, there's a lot of mystery around this game, and the game has a huge following in Japan. It has a growing following in the States, and that's Splatoon Raiders. I don't think it's the holiday game, but it wouldn't be shocking, and I think Splatoon has grown enough in popularity that a single player focused spinoff that has co-op, story mode or whatever, something that we don't have in the mainline games, could be a really cool hit this winter. But that's the big question. We don't have a holiday game announced. We don't have that big November title. I mean, I guess Nintendo could get away with announcing it in September. I wouldn't hold it past them, especially with certain titles. It's not going to be Smash, this year, but Smash is a game where you don't need a year of marketing. You could literally announce it 2 months before it drops, and it'll be a massive event. They could do that, but yeah. Holiday game.
Exactly?
I think we find out.
Do you remember when Mario Wonder got announced? It was a Nintendo Direct, but do you remember when?
Wasn't it June? Before it came out?
Was it June?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was September.
September.
Yeah, and then it got announced for whatever. It was like November or something is when it got released, right? Yeah, because I'm looking at this. Mario Wonder got announced. I'm looking at the date.
June 21st.
August. It was August 31st, 2023 was the Wonder Direct. And like you said, yeah, the one before that was the summer one. So realistically, they could maybe do like a 2D Mario. I think 2D Mario. Yeah.
And my guess for that would be Mario Maker 3. I think it advertises mouse controls. It would have, listen, there was a huge downgrade going from the Wii U to the Switch with Mario Maker because you don't have the stylus and touch controls. Mouse controls solves that issue 100%. It's the same thing I complain about. Like if we get Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD, you're getting a downgrade. We don't have the dual screen anymore. And that made those games. So that's my list. Sorry, I tried to go through quickly, but I think I'm pumped for this because that's the big question. What's the holiday game?
All right.
Like it.
I'm with you.
Nate Dog.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Look, Nate the Hate said it. Lots of third parties. It's happening this direct. He just knows. They couldn't talk about him. Nintendo's saying no. So a lot of third parties. We're seeing Call of Duty. It's happening. It's being shown. Might even be the first thing they kick out the show with. No, I think it's this year's Call of Duty. Notice how we still haven't really seen gameplay.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. Yeah.
It was a cutscene tease. Haven't seen gameplay. Why would Microsoft not show off gameplay at their own summer event for their biggest game they're launching this year? Oh, could it be because they're going to debut it at the Nintendo Direct and try to make a big deal out of the fact that it's back on Nintendo? Maybe it's part of that 10-year contract deal. I don't know. All right. I think that's going to be there. Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that's going to be there. I think an interesting one, just looking at the companies that he mentioned, specific companies. So he knows like specific things from them are coming. So I think looking at some of the specific companies he mentioned, I could see the Okami sequel getting teased. Just for something new. Obviously, like a lot of the games that keep getting teased for Switch 2 are like ones that already came out. Well, there's got to be some new stuff too. One of the big ones I think is going to happen, and this is a total shot in the dark, but it feels like even if it's a 2026 or 2027, I don't think it's anytime soon, but we just haven't seen it in so long. And despite all the industry layoffs, despite all the studio closures, they keep refusing to say this game is canceled. Beyond Good and Evil 2. I can't trust Ubisoft. So
Yeah.
it seems
I would
pretty
not get my
unlikely,
hopes up, Nate.
but this is why
I
they
would
were
not.
asked like a couple months ago if it was still being made, and they said, yeah, okay. What does that even mean? You know, yeah, the director left at one point. What is even going on with this game?
Dude, that game, I'm sorry, but that when they came out on stage and said that they had like a web portal where fans could help develop the game by giving them access to tools to build terrain and textures, I was like, nope. The Beyond Good and Evil 2 that we all wanted was the one that they teased a decade prior.
Yeah, long,
You know
long,
what I
long
mean?
time ago. Yeah.
That's all they had to do. Sorry, I'm passionate about it because I love Beyond Good and Evil.
I'm trying to manifest Beyond Good and Evil 2. Okay. They refuse to say it's canceled. There's probably active development on it somewhere doing something. Will it ever come out? I don't know. They like to call games quad A games. This thing's been in development so long, it must be a quad A game, right? So, yeah, you know, Skull and Bones also got delayed to hell and back before that came out, and then they called it a quad A game, even though it had less content than Assassin's Creed. So, I feel like my argument for it is this: they need a shocker. They need a shocker game. Call of Duty's not a shocker. We know it's coming. You know, Red Dead Redemption 2, we had Red Dead Redemption 1 on Switch. So, like, none of these are surprising. Doom the Dark Age, all the Microsoft games, none of that stuff really surprises. Maybe if Fable potentially gets announced for it, that would maybe be a little bit shocking. But also, people kind of expect Microsoft to just put their games on everything. So, is it really that surprising? It would be cool. The Zelda machine has Fable. That's pretty badass. But also, so does PlayStation. Everyone, like, because they're a third-party company now. So the reason I pulled out the Beyond Good and Evil 2 is one, because he brought up Ubisoft. It's probably for Assassin's Creed Shadows, to be honest. But because we already saw that there's an ESR or sort of PEGI rating or something for it. Either way, we know Shadows is coming. So it's probably what Ubisoft is going to show. But I pulled that one out because I'm like, you know, the game that everyone wants to see announced is GTA 6 for it. Probably, if it does happen, it's not going to be, it's years away. It's not going to be launching next year. It'll be 2020. It'll maybe with the PC version, if it comes at all. So they need a shocker, and Beyond Good and Evil 2 getting shown off and teased for like 2027 or some shit would make people go, oh, so that game still is alive. No one's going to believe it's actually coming out in 2027, but everyone's going to think it's going to be a studio closure next year and get canceled. But hey, it gives everyone hope for a moment. And Beyond Good and Evil was on GameCube. So it's kind of like, hey, there is a Nintendo history with that IP. And I just have hopium. It's just straight hopium. Silk Song's going to be here. Period. Release date's getting dropped.
Yeah.
This is what it is. They literally said it's coming out before the Xbox handheld, which is coming out this fall. They got to really. There's only so many events left between now and then. I know they could just release. It's so anticipated. They could just drop the date themselves on Twitter with a trailer, and it would be fine.
Yeah, of course.
But I always remember that this game originally was announced at a Nintendo Direct, and it demoed at E3 2019 in Nintendo's booth.
Yep.
So, like, there is a deep connection between Nintendo and Team Cherry. I do fully believe that Team Cherry was one of the few indie studios to get a Switch 2 dev kit because they're such a small team and they've been so secretive about their own game. Nintendo clearly would feel like you can obviously keep Switch 2 a secret. And again, they worked with them in the past for the E3 demos. So I just kind of feel like now's the time. Now's the time. We're going to finally get that release date, and it's going to be a big deal. And everyone's going to be really excited. And that might be one of the few indie games that even show off of this because they have so many third-party games to get to. And on top of that, not a lot of indie studios seem to have Switch 2 dev kits. And I do think it's going to be a very heavy Switch 2 Direct. There will be, I think, there'll be a Switch 2 edition for sure. I think Pikmin 4 makes the most sense, but it could be anything really. Obviously, just pick your favorite Switch game and they can do it a Switch 2 edition. One that doesn't have an official free update. Yeah, so that could happen. But I do think there'll be. I think we could possibly see Tamagotchi Life again. They might wait. Like a lot of the Switch 1 games, like Tamagotchi Life, like the big one for next year, they literally don't have to talk about it again until next year. So Metroid Prime 4, obvious. Legends EA we're already seeing next week, so probably won't be in this direct. So I actually don't think there's really going to be a lot of like Switch 1 only stuff in this direct. I think it's going to be heavily Switch 2. And part, I also have this long-term theory. It's like a different conversation that they might not be releasing new Switch 1 games after next year. So there might not actually be a lot more in
like
the
Nintendo first party, you mean?
Nintendo first party, yeah.
I
Third
agree.
party,
Yeah, next year's their last one. Right.
So
Tomodachi
kind
Life
of
and Rhythm Heaven and stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
feel like this year we have Metroid Prime 4 to ZA. That might be it for the rest
Mhm.
of this year from them. So there might not have anything to say now. There might be a couple more ports or announcements next year, but it'll be next year, or I should say specifically September. Something for the Mario's 40th. I could see
Yeah.
something going on there. But this direct, I don't really think they need to say anything about Switch 1 stuff. And so if that's going to be the case and that's the direction they go, well, then there's not going to be a lot of indie games here. Silksong might be the only one. Other third parties, and they talked about let's see here. Gosh, I just had something like Bandai Namco has stuff to announce. I mean, at least I think Tarnished Edition release date.
Yes.
Like that's like the big one. It's already announced. We've already technically seen footage. It'd be nice to see more footage and hopefully running a little better and a release date. That'd be sick. So that would be really cool. They could announce Elden Ring Night Rain as well, even though it didn't review as well. I could see them still wanting to push that game.
For sure.
I can
Absolutely.
see a Switch 2 version of that. I haven't played it, but I did see
It's
it get
fun.
played. I did see.
I
it get
liked it a lot.
I
I
did
played
too,
it
yeah.
at PAX. It was good.
Yeah, and maybe we get an. If Duskbloods is a first half of next year game, maybe we see it again. That would be kind of cool since we found out what kind of game it was after the direct, which is
It's weird though because Duskbloods is not a Bandai Namco published game. It is a Nintendo published game developed by FromSoft, which is super weird.
Yeah,
But Bandai, on the topic of this, and you guys mentioning earlier that like they're waiting to announce stuff right for a Nintendo Direct. We know this. We've known this for 2 years, but we know this right now that there are two teams internally at Bandai Namco. There's Team A and there's Team S that are both working on first-party Nintendo IP exclusively within Bandai Namco. Team A and Team S. Now, Sakurai, right, is probably not making Smash right now because he's making Kirby Air Riders. But my assumption is that they are putting together Team S for an eventual Smash game years from now. But Team A, right, has been working on something for years that we don't know anything about that is Nintendo and will be exclusively for Switch 2.
Yep.
I wanted to throw this in earlier when we were doing first party predictions, and now I see we're kind of wrapping up and getting to third party stuff. And I'm like, I do want to throw this out there. Bandai Namco developed the last good Star Fox game, which was Star Fox Assault. Star Fox is also in a weird situation in which it is now skipped an entire life cycle, right? We had Zero on Wii U, critical flop, sales failure, did not do well. But I know from having gone to the Nintendo Museum and talking to Nintendo people and all this stuff, Star Fox is still a priority series for them. They still love Star Fox. Like Star Fox isn't going anywhere. Miyamoto loves it. Like they love it. They know there's more they can do with that brand. And we're seeing them sort of breathe new life into Donkey Kong. I feel like if it's a smaller scope arcade style game and it's being developed by Bandai Namco, Star Fox could maybe fit the slot of like a holiday game for them. Like, I don't think that would need that much of a lead in. And that would be directly into like all this talk about there being like a big third party thing. They previously worked on the franchise. I don't even think it would be like a remake. I think it is like, if it is a Star Fox, right? I think it would be like a new one. But I do think that is one that people aren't really talking about that I think could happen to showcase like the power of Switch 2, you know?
Yeah. I think something Persona. I don't know what. I'm not a big Persona guy, but I feel like something Persona is going to happen. And that'll get people excited. Yeah. And the last thing I want to throw in there is I think we're going to see something new from Dragon Quest. I don't know if it's the rumored 7 remake or if they're going to finally show 12 again after announcing it years ago, because this is like a direct is a perfect place for them because Dragon Quest sells best in Japan, and the number one platform in Japan is Nintendo. So it makes a hell of a lot of sense that you would use a Nintendo event to reveal your next whatever. What if it's a remake for next year, or if 12 is going to be coming next year, whatever it is. Yeah, sure. You could start off by reminding people about 1+2 HD2D, but then you end it by teasing the new big thing for 2026. That would be pretty sick. And then we probably won't see it again until next year. Or it's 12 and they don't give us a date and we still don't see it for like 3 years because they're taking forever with 12, which, you know, whatever. I know everyone's like, well, they want to get all this Dragon Quest out. They want to get I'm like, yeah, but then 11 came out before Switch came out. Like, it's been like a decade. Like, at some point, 12 has to come out. They've already announced the game. It's got to come out at some point. But I understand also 11 was like the biggest thing they ever did with Dragon Quest and it blew up. So now maybe they're treating it. Maybe they're almost giving it like Final Fantasy treatment. Like they want this next one. They think it's going to sell, 15, 20 million or something crazy. So, so we'll see on that front, of course. Sega, look, they got to be doing something. Obviously, we know about Crossroads coming over already. Happy to find out physical copy, full physical on Switch 2.
Oh, that's great. I didn't even know that. It's not a virtual game card.
No, it's not. It's not a game key card.
Good.
Is the full physical launching day and date? Because I saw something about how it's actually coming in 2026.
Early 2026.
That's fucking stupid.
Oh, that stinks.
That's fucking stupid. I hate that shit. Granted, I'd still rather it be full physical and wait, but that's stupid. And I'm sorry, Sega. You're a big publisher. You and Nintendo are pretty tight. Day and date. Come on. What are we doing? Stupid. I mean, I know what you're doing. You're trying to push people to go all digital. I get it. Stupid. Anyways, sucks. So yeah, maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe they show off like the Shinobi game. I guess that comes out in August. I guess I'm trying to think of like I don't really know a lot of projects going on at Sega right now beyond like this year. So I guess I'll probably just leave it at that for now. And then what was the other one I wanted to get to here? Capcom stuff. I know I talked briefly about Okami. I think Dragon's Dogma 2 could possibly get shown here.
Good call.
That'd be a really good get for them. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I think, I know a lot of people on like Monster Hunter Wilds. That seems almost impossible. It runs like shit on other platforms. I don't know if it's just the engine or they just really badly optimized it. I have no idea, but it runs basically bad on everything. Even PC, it's really rough, even on good hardware on PC. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what happened between World and this game. Something's not. I don't know. Maybe they rushed it out. That's probably really what happened. Is it got rushed out, and it's going to be like a Cyberpunk on PS4 situation where it runs well 5 years from now. But so maybe a port could eventually come. But at that point, they've probably made a from the ground up exclusive to Switch 2, timed exclusive like Rise, because that sold so well. There's zero excuse not to be planning a from the ground up timed exclusive. So yeah. But that's not going to be shown now. That's going to be like mid-gen or something like that. So
yeah,
that's kind of my thoughts on that. That's for first party stuff. Not going to dive into too much because you guys said a lot of the stuff that I'm already thinking. But the big holiday game, the game I brought up, that's kind of the thing where I'm like, okay, I do think Animal Crossing a tease for next year absolutely can make sense. And because they didn't do a lot of content with Animal Crossing, which pissed a lot of people off. Get the game out early so you can have a whole generation worth of getting content out for it. I think that makes sense. I think obviously as awesome as it was for Animal Crossing to come out when it did for everyone's lives with COVID, really bad for developers trying to make new content. That's a bad time.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty early on that they're like, hey, we're just going to get this one DLC thing out and we are done. We got to go to the next system and then we'll do a better content plan for that. Because Animal Crossing's a forever game, guys. So it makes sense to get that out early in the gen, just like Mario Kart. Have DLC go for the whole gen. Yeah. I do think there's a possibility that they do announce because we all know there's going to be DLC for Mario Kart. I wonder if they're going to announce the DLC pack and get that thing started later this year. Like they announce it now, you can maybe like pre-order it or get it part of the thing and they just show off like the very first part of it that comes out this holiday,
I feel like they do a free update, like with the new
I agree
skins.
completely.
I think it's a free update. I don't think they make it paid.
Yes. I think
you
the
get a free
paid, I think
update
the
with,
paid update, the paid update comes during the Mario Direct, where then they say separately
Yes.
in September, after they've already gotten the goodwill of being like, we're adding 200cc for free, and we're adding, whatever, a jukebox mode to listen to music. Like, I think it's gonna be stuff like that with like Donkey Kong and Pauline skins to celebrate Bonanza, or a couple of the Kongs or whatever thrown in there as racers, and that it's free. And that the actual DLC stuff starts when they announce it during the Mario Direct later in the year. I am in so much agreement. There's no way, knowing the backlash that has gotten with the price, that they're immediately going to announce paid DLC before some type of free update. Yeah,
that's exactly where I'm at, Roger. I was like, I could see it happening later down the road, but I feel like they need.
It will.
Need a goodwill
assured,
update, or that game
happen.
is going to die.
Later down the road, there will be paid DLC, but I agree that the first thing they're going to do is going to be a free update, 200cc, some new, quality of life things, jukebox mode,
some
whatever.
classic mode, just appeal to the competitive scene a little bit, because that whole scene has just died, man. Like, I was really into it for a minute there, and it is really, people are struggling to play it, at least. Yeah. Anyways, you get it.
They all moved to Discords to do private matches so that they could do 3-lap races.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. Right.
So I don't think Nintendo's doing a free update for Mario Kart World. I've been on record saying this.
Damn.
Because look, I know we don't like this side of companies, but Nintendo's on top. They like making money. All the bitching online has not slowed down sales one bit. They're selling every fucking system and every copy of Mario Kart. I haven't even seen a Mario Kart World on a store shelf. Like, they can't keep the thing in stock. It's selling out, and that's not even counting the bundle. Like, it's insane. So they have no reason other than just to calm down the internet, but the internet's not their main consumer base. We make up a very small, minute part of the people that actually buy Mario Kart World. 70 million people bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's not 70 million people bitching about Mario Kart World.
Was 200cc not a free update for 8 Deluxe, though? Was that not a free update? I'm pretty sure it was.
It was
I'm
free.
pretty sure
it was free.
Right. Right. Sure. Which is why I'm in agreement. I don't think content will be free. I think this free update, whatever they're going to do, is beyond 200. Yes. Yeah. Right. I think that aspect of it, they have a track record of doing. Like, I agree, there's no reason for them to do it, but I think they have a track record of doing it, which is why I think it's going to happen. But I'm in agreement that, like, any other extra courses or characters or stuff like that will be paid. But I don't think that's happening yet. I think they're going to wait a couple months and buy a little bit of time.
This is the Nintendo that I always remind people did something in 2017 that pissed me off. They put Master Mode in Breath of the Wild behind paid DLC when it's always been free.
That's true.
So that was back then when they didn't know what Switch was going to be. They know what Switch 2 is going to be. This is new leadership who likes numbers. I just kind of think they're done doing that kind of stuff. That was very early in Switch's gen that they were like, let's be nice. We're trying to bounce back from Wii. They're not trying to bounce back from anything.
Master Mode was not free in any other previous Zelda.
Skyward Sword.
Was Master Mode free in the original?
Yeah, hero mode in the game. Yeah.
Oh, hero mode there is. Because I was going to say, what's like the
Ocarina of Time one?
That's the one I'm thinking, where it was like on a paid separate disc.
Yeah, that was separate. But then when they put it on 3DS, it was included.
I gotcha. Yeah.
They started that from 3DS on forward. They started including that extra difficulty mode.
I see.
And then we got to this game, and everyone's like, "Why the fuck are we paying for that? Why is it just here day one? Oh, it's part of the. You got to pay for that.
It was part of the expansion pass.
It's weird.
Yeah. I would counterpoint that though, and say if you look at like even with the expansion pass and like the benefits they've been adding to it and stuff, even having it where it's been like there's no reason that they need to be like if you own both the Zelda games, you get Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for Switch 2 editions. Like there's no reason for them to do that either, and yet they do it. Right. And you could buy the $10 upgrade or whatever if you already have the physical or the older version. But like there was no beneficial reason on day one of their system to be like, you are getting 2 free versions of our highest rated, best selling Zelda games ever day one, and they did it for anyone who was an expansion pass user. They did it for free. Completely.
Are you talking
added
about the
things,
Switch
didn't
2
need to do
edition
it.
for Zelda, right?
Yeah, the Switch 2 editions for Zelda. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sure. Those are customers that they already got money from. They're just knocking $10 off for them. That's all those upgrades are for $10.
Okay, but again, counterpoint to this: if the majority of people playing 200cc, right, for Mario Kart, are not playing that single player, they're playing 200cc online with their friends. The only way to play online on a Switch is to have an NSO subscription. So already, like, that is their added thing. If that's the direction you want to go in, I think their added thing is, look, you're already paying for online. So throwing 200cc in there, to be honest, it's probably already in the game, and they just got to do something to unlock it. But it's probably already there. So, like, to me, the idea of doing it is like a little added benefit. It helps with the optics, but I don't think they planned for the optics, which I think was your counter argument in saying that like Nintendo doesn't need to. They're not going to like kowtow to the internet, which is true. They're not. They're not going to.
I think they're going to give everyone what they want. I think like there's going to be a new mode they add that has just 3-lap courses. It'll be a brand new mode, because like when they piss people off with that, they were just fixing a bug to put that mode the way it was intended to be. But maybe because they saw how popular it was, they already were getting a mode ready to go. But that'll be part of DLC, which might piss people off. But it is what it is. If you want to play the competitive stuff, you're going to buy the DLC. And let's be honest, most people that bought Mario Kart World, we're always going to get the DLC, especially if it is a roadmap DLC. Where we're talking about this is roadmapped over the next 2-3 years. You spend $40, or I hope it's not 40, but it might be what they charge based on charging 80. And people might be like, oh, this fucking sucks. But then Nintendo's like, yeah, but we got like new updates coming every 3 months for the next 2-3 years. People are going to be like, fucking bullshit, but also we're getting a lot of content. Then people, oh, that content should have been in an $80 game. No one's going to give a fuck, and it's going to go off to sell millions and millions and millions. And maybe expansion pass members maybe get lucky and get it for free, like they did with the Mario Kart 8. And that'll be their counter argument is, hey, you don't have to spend 40. Just be an expansion pass member.
I think it's important that they put it on expansion pass. I think Nintendo wants to grow NSO subscribers. They want to incentivize people to stay subscribed.
That's the
push. I think it's a business win as well as like a good grace for your fans.
And it will definitely be on expansion pass. Whatever the big DLC thing they do, it'll be on there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was the point of putting the Zelda ones on there. But it is notable that, like, the reason that I feel like, one, Nintendo didn't plan for the backlash, so they're not planning to give anything for free. 2, they don't have to give anything for free because everything is selling out. They have no reason to do it other than internet backlash. And I don't know that Nintendo's ever cared about internet backlash because sales are everything. And look, all the internet backlash in the world, now everyone's saying Donkey Kong Bonanza is a must get, buy a Switch 2. Meanwhile, you're going to buy a bundle. You're going to get Mario Kart as well. So, like, everything's working out in their favor. And slowly people are they're like, hey, as long as we get more games out, people will stop talking about the backlash in Mario Kart World. It's just a game everyone has. And then the conversation will go away. I mean, Nintendo knows that. One thing, though, about all of that is that this is also the Nintendo world. They gave you those $10 ones with the expansion pass. They didn't include the DLC with your $80 copy of game. Or $70 for Breath of the Wild. They didn't include the DLC. So if you've never played, you spent $70 now, or I think it was for the Breath of the Wild version for Switch 2, you still got to spend more if you want all the content. And
isn't no other DLC also on expansion pass?
No, the Zelda one isn't. No, it's not. No,
weird.
Yeah. So you have to buy that.
Weird.
If you, I mean, everyone who owns a Switch 1 version that wanted the DLC probably already has it. But if you're getting into Zelda for the first time, 70 isn't all you got to spend if you want all the content. And that now it's 90. That's where the people started talking about the 9. Now it's $90 if you want everything. And it's like, why didn't they include that in 8 years later? That makes no sense. Everyone else includes it in. They bundle it in at this point. Nintendo didn't. Why? Because they like money. And it sucks thinking about that. This is the greedy side of Nintendo that sucks. And we don't like talking about on this show.
I like it. Raise the price, bro. I don't care.
Yeah,
raise the price. Get your money up. Raise the price. I don't care.
Oh, get your bag.
I don't care. I really don't care. It's the one aspect of like the current conversation where people are mad about it, and I'm like, look, it's Nintendo. I don't care. There's no amount of bitching and moaning of people saying they're because like you just said, everything you just said, everyone who said they were never going to buy the games They ended up buying Mario Kart World anyway. They bought it anyway. So realistically, unless you actually show that you're strong and you're going to stand by it and not buy the system and not comply, then that's fine.
Yep.
But if you're going to cry for 3 months about the fact that this game is $80 and then still buy the thing anyway, I have no sympathy for you, and you have no say in this conversation. You literally don't matter. So
yeah. This is like just blasting people like some ordinary gamers who went on a parade about how anti-consumer and all this, then fucking bought it
anyway.
day one.
Exactly, day one. That's my point. Exactly.
He wasn't going to say anything, but someone saw it in the background of his video, so then he had to say something about it, how he's a hypocrite, and it's like you were trying to hide it too. Like that's even worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like no, I would never buy this. Meanwhile, he's out day one getting it. It's like, come on.
Number one Nintendo Prime hater, ABS, and best friend of Gamer Graphic is now reviewing Switch 2 games right now. Literally reviewing them on a system he said is anti-consumer and no one should buy. Like, it is what it is. People just that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking Nintendo just doesn't give a fuck. We're worth more than we've ever been worth. Everything we do is selling. Our latest game is gold. Everyone's talking about how amazing it is. The first one in 26 years. Maybe this becomes a 15, 20 million seller. People were excited when we dropped Splatoon Raiders. Wherever we do this direct, everyone's just going to be hyped. Everyone's going to stop talking about how we don't have third-party games. Here's the third-party game dump. Also, by the way, you didn't think Animal Crossing was cool? Well, here's our big fucking holiday game. Brand new IP, Monolith Soft. You don't think we had a visual feast for you? Here's your visual feast.
That would be sick.
Like, that's my prediction for the big holiday game. Is that game that's been in development for like 8 years, it finally comes out, basically, for the big holiday game. And they're not, and the reason I say that is, well, Monolith Soft games don't traditionally sell very well. They're not quite as worried about this game selling well because Pokemon's the month before.
Yeah.
So they already know they're going to be making bank. So it's kind of like, hey, this is that game that everyone's been waiting from us to be like, we couldn't do this on Switch 1. This is the game we literally could not do. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be, I mean, it probably started development on Switch 1. That's the thing. It's like, I was watching an Andres Restart video the other day, and he reminded me that every game Nintendo's announced so far has started on Switch 1. We haven't actually seen a from the ground for Switch 2 game from Nintendo
Kirby
yet.
Air Riders, right? Kirby Air Riders.
Oh, true. I guess
that's the
true.
one.
Sakurai.
Yeah,
That's
Kirby Air Riders might be that one. We just haven't seen the gameplay, so we don't. And obviously, Sakurai will be right up in front on us if he started it on Switch 1.
110%. Of course,
we'll find out some random Famitsu interview before the gameplay's even revealed.
right.
Yeah, right.
to kind of piggyback on that Mario Kart conversation from a bit ago, like, they need to put out battle passes, and I'm using that word loosely, like they do in Splatoon. Right, like that are like they're essentially like you fill your catalog.
Yeah, catalog.
Right? They are pushing everybody to race the rally mode and then do one lap. It's not okay. Yep. Like if you want us to rally, give us 3 laps. Still, give us a classic mode, and if you want people racing rally, give us objectives in that catalog that say do 10 rally races this week and get this sticker or this costume.
Really good idea.
Whatever
icon for your profile picture or whatever.
Yeah, and then add more customization to your like the banners. I mean, all they have to do is look at Splatoon and Smash, and they go, Sakurai gives us any option we want. If you want to play competitive with no items, that's how you set up your For Glory. And if in Splatoon, if you want to customize all your stuff to make it your own, you go and do that. And then Mario Kart is sitting here like, this game feels a bit dated.
Yep.
It's also incredibly good, but then you also have casual people that are like, it's kind of hard. And you're like, they need to make a tutorial for this game that teaches the tech in a way that like gamifies it to where you even unlock something by completing it, like it's just, I want people to love this game more than anything. That's why I get so fired up about it. Cause I just want people to love it.
The catalog idea is great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say this for all the channels. I know they're going to clip me talking about Nintendo doing all this crazy greedy shit. I actually want them to do any of it. Okay.
The same people who are going to get angry at you, they can clip me saying raise the price. I don't care. I'll pay $90 for Smash Brothers. I don't care.
Especially
I'll do it anyway.
I'm on your side with this.
$89.99 Sakurai.
No, because like I know Nintendo's not exactly pro consumer, but like they're
Right.
definitely pro labor. I mean,
Yeah.
especially
They
in this
pay
market,
their workers.
like, I'm happy to pay more for this art and for this
Absolutely.
for this company because
They
they're
do
actually
compensate very
holding the fucking industry together. Like, respectfully,
Absolutely.
to be
Look
totally
at,
honest with you.
but you're completely correct. Look at all the stuff going on with Microsoft right now.
Right,
They're like bolstering all this
exactly.
AI stuff. They're taking all these IPs. They're
Exactly.
canceling all these games, dropping all these studios. Literally, Nintendo, when Nintendo
Thank
was
you,
struggling,
yeah.
Iwata's like, I'm
Hey.
taking a pay cut. We're not laying off anybody. So,
Yep.
so
Guys.
like, I literally don't care. It's like, make the games
Yeah,
more
we've gone
expensive.
on a big tangent.
Crime
We're
more
getting
internet.
into
Wait, guys,
That's-
guys.
what?
Did we get to hear Stash's predictions for the direct
yeah,
yet? I've been
Dude, I
One-
can't. It's already 1 a.m. I thought we were wrapping up. I thought we were.
But I'm too. I forgot. All right, Stash, we got to hear this.
We need this. We need a
One thing
gunfire.
to go-
Hold
Boom,
on.
Boom, boom, boom.
hold
One
on,
thing-
hold on. To be fair,
I think Nate's
I've
still
been
going
Nathan,
as well.
dude.
I've been anxiously awaiting Stash's predictions.
I
just
know,
wanna
me
put that out
too.
there.
Thanks, man.
Let's go.
Well,
I'm
I'll
ready.
swing over to Stash in a moment. One more thing about the Nintendo thing and how well they take care of people.
Sure.
Furukawa's been asked over and over about the AI stuff, and he said, "Hey, our aim is to make things that can't be made with AI alone.
Right.
Yep.
Done
Right.
deal.
Easy.
Like we don't. Why lay people off? Keep your talent.
Exactly.
$100 billion
Raise the price.
company saying that.
Hashtag raise the price, bro.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I'll go that far, although I probably would have paid more for the Switch 2 if it was working. I would do it. I don't know, man. I didn't buy the $700 PS5 Pro, so maybe there is a limit for me. I don't know. We'll see.
Stash,
All
you gotta
right,
go.
so
Stash, I'm
StashMan.
giving you the hockey. It's yours.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Guys,
It is all you. It is all Stash for the rest of the show.
And Stash, as your reward for this brutal segue, I don't know what the hell happened here. Don't feel rushed, man. Just
No, take
say
your
whatever
time.
you want to say.
okay.
Take
Yeah,
your
we only
time.
have 32 super chats to get through.
I mean,
You
I
should
will
have
say
thought
it's
about
all
that before the tangent.
written out clearly, so
Okay.
there shouldn't be any filler words.
Nice.
Yeah, I
nice.
didn't realize that me talking about a prediction on Mario Kart World DLC being announced was going to turn into this.
all good.
You can't talk Mario Kart, and I can't just sit back. I'm sorry. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
no,
not
you
invited
can't.
often.
It's
You
fine.
are
It's
you are the Mario
It's
Kart
a
guy.
long show to predict that. I should have waited till Roger and N64 Josh were not here to make that prediction.
Correct.
It's
I
all
will
good.
make everything an hour longer. That's how this works.
It got to the because I stepped away for I had to step away for 5 minutes, and when I came back, this was happening. So after it's gone on for 10 minutes, I'm like, wait, did I miss Stash's predictions? So
No,
did
you
I
did not.
miss
We
it?
were saving them for you. Don't worry.
That's right. Best for last, man.
Yeah. All right,
There we go.
Stash man, the floor is yours.
Okay, here we go. So we'll
One
start
more
off
thing
with
about Mario Kart. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
No, you're good. We'll start off with Nintendo.
Go ahead.
I don't know what happened. I got dropped or something.
So Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Again, mouse mode is the best way to play Metroid,
Mhm.
and I believe Nintendo clearly knows that. They're not going to say, "Hey, we want you to play Metroid Prime remastered with standard Switch controls. We want you to track down either a GameCube to play Metroid Prime 2 or a Wii to play Metroid Prime 3 or the trilogy and use the Wiimote. And then, by the way, those games will only play in 480p. And you'll need a TV that still has RCA inputs. If you don't, you'll need an HDMI converter. And unless you buy one with a proven track record like RetroTink, it's going to introduce a ton of input lag. And one more thing, you don't need to adjust your TV set. The games are blurry by default. And yes, your TV is supposed to have black bars. I don't think Nintendo's going to do that. Do you guys?
No.
No.
No, not by any
0%
means.
chance.
I'm refraining from talking the rest of the show until the super
Same,
chats.
bro.
Okay. And again,
My mic.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going on
mentioned
mute.
at the end of this, I expect 2 and 3 to release on Switch 2, just like Pikmin 1 and 2 did on the Switch. I think it's the perfect template. Next, Kirby Air Riders update. I think we'll see an update on that, and we will see an update on Star-Crossed World because that's due out August 28th.
That's right.
Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think we'll see an update on that. Jamboree TV releases July 24th. this is the Mario Party for Switch 2 for the foreseeable future. So I think they're going to make a big deal about that and show it. I don't think we see anything Mario related just yet, because again, I do think that's for September, but I still think we will see Mario related stuff at the Mario Direct, like Smash Ultimate Switch 2 Edition. I do think that's coming. I've been saying that for a long time. I think Smash Bros is a long ways off, and this is how you feed the fan base. Mario Wonder
about
Switch 2
baseball?
Edition.
I'll die live on stream, by the way, if that happens. I will literally die live on stream of a heart attack if that happens.
What do you think about Melee? What if they bring Melee to like the GameCube one?
I'll die. Every
I
situation
mentioned
I'll
that,
die.
but
They do anything Smash Bros.
I mean, if they can get the input lag nailed down, that's a big issue right now. And if that's an issue with Smash Brothers, that's going to create chaos. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition with DLC that we never got. I think we'll get an expansion like Kirby Starcross World or Jamboree TV. I think it'll be in that same vein, which is what will get people to buy the expansion. What I would like to see is Mario 3D All-Stars running at 60 FPS with enhanced resolution. I think they can make it happen. I think they could have on Switch 1, and there's a good chance they're saving that actually for Switch 2. And then more Switch 2 upgrades. So that's what I'm expecting from the big N. Okay. Now, I'll give you some rapid fire. I have this broken down by devs. So Take Two, Red Dead Redemption 2. Been saying it for a long time. I think we'll see 2K26. It comes out the end of August. So we're going to see actual gameplay, probably in a sizzle reel. Borderlands 4. Again, I think we'll get an update. It's supposed to be coming later this year. Borderlands 3. The ability to purchase the game was removed for Switch 2 due to issues with the game running on Switch 2. So you cannot buy it on the eShop right now. I decided to pick it up physically because of that reason. So I could kind of see what happens, check it out. The major issues I ran into were lighting pretty early in the game to where the screen was like completely black and you can't even proceed.
Huh.
The good thing is the game is running at 60 FPS. So I think that is a really good candidate to receive a Switch 2 upgrade. In preparation in a sense for Borderlands 4. Ubisoft. Okay, Assassin's Creed. Origins, Odyssey, Syndicate all received a 60 FPS patch from the PS4 version to the PS5 in the last few years. I expect these games, along with Valhalla Complete Edition, Mirage, and of course the already PEGI rated Assassin's Creed Shadows
Sure.
to come to Switch 2.
yeah, it's a good prediction.
Yeah, Ubisoft really needs to recoup costs
Yeah,
as quickly as possible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So these are all games that I think would do very well. Mario Rabbids Collection. I think we see Switch 2 edition for the Mario Rabbids games.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do like a double pack or they'll release them individually, but individually they'll be complete editions, right? I know Kingdom Battle had a lot of DLC.
Yep.
Sparks of Hope, did it have DLC?
It does. It's got Rayman DLC actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap. I
Yeah.
somehow missed that. I did
Yeah.
not
Maybe
realize
we
It's
get
not
complete
good.
editions.
It's not good. So you
Oh,
missed
it's not
nothing.
good.
No.
Mm.
No. So you miss nothing. Literally, Rayman does not interact with anybody else at all.
That's
It's
lame.
like its own total. Yeah, it's super lame. Yeah.
Last one for Ubisoft for now is Star Wars Outlaws is due out September 4th. That's the release date. You can pre-order it right now. Best Buy. We need some actual gameplay, not what they showed, obviously in that direct. For Microsoft, okay. I've been saying this. I said this in my review, my full review for Indiana Jones, that I fully expect it to come to Switch 2. The DLC was supposed to release spring 2025. And it was delayed. They did not give a reason why. It's now coming out September 4th. That's their Giants DLC. I don't know if we'll get it this early, but I 100% expect Indiana Jones on Switch 2. I played it on Series S. Again, it runs on Series S, so we'll run on Switch 2. Oblivion remake.
Oh, that's a good get.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Really good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Doom: The Dark Ages. So, again, I think we're all expecting this already. There's no reason for it not to come to Switch 2. The precedence has been set a long time ago with Doom, going back to the SNES, the N64, obviously, and then every single Doom game is on Switch 1. Every single one. Flight Simulator. Again, that was one that was rumored. Halo Master Chief Collection, another one that was rumored.
Yep.
Here's one I've talked about quite a bit is Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 got a PS5 update to run at 4K 60 FPS. That came out in April 2024. They released it then to coincide with the Fallout TV series. Season 2 is coming out this December. Perfect time to introduce Fallout to the Nintendo Switch family of consoles. Who needs to jump off, Lam?
All three of us. All three of the guests.
I think all the guests are saying
I see it coming in.
We're all like, whoa.
It's okay. You got.
No, we're all waiting.
Okay.
You still have 5
All right.
minutes,
Yeah,
bro.
finish your thoughts.
predictions.
Yeah,
I want to hear
I think I can get through it.
I've been waiting.
Diablo 4. Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Diablo 4 is
Starfield.
a great pick.
They desperately need to recoup cost. That did not
Starfield, yep.
perform.
Yep.
I expect the PS5
Oh,
version to get announced
Starfield.
at the same time as Switch 2.
That's a good call. Okay.
Here's an IP that Microsoft has. There's a game that's already done, just ported over. Battletoads came out in 2020. I think the Switch, obviously Nintendo fans would like this game.
Yep.
And then Sea of Thieves, because again, that is Rare's really only title that's producing.
Yeah.
So I could see that happen.
Yeah.
All right, jumping over. Capcom, Resident Evil remakes.
Yes, guaranteed.
Yeah, I think we'll
100%.
get the first Resident Evil remake announced. I'm not saying part 1, but we'll get the first game that they plan on releasing announced. Dragon's Dogma 2. We have part 1. And again, Dogma 2 runs on Series S.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it doesn't run great on PS5, but if it runs on Series S, it can run on Switch too. Now, Monster Hunter Wilds is kind of a different story because that game does not run very good on PS5. However, we never got Monster Hunter World. What about Monster Hunter World Complete Edition with the Iceborne expansion?
That would be cool. I would love that.
It couldn't
Monster
run on
Hunter World.
Switch 1.
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
They wanted
yeah.
to, but because it couldn't run on Switch 1, they made Rise.
Yeah.
Well, this can run on Switch 2, so I think that's a good way to fill the Monster Hunter void while they work on whichever one's coming to Switch 2.
Sure.
And then last for Capcom, Mega Man. It's time for him to return. It's been a very long time since our last Mega Man.
Legends, baby. Give me
Yeah.
Legends.
Right. Even 64 on like NSO would be
Yeah.
sick. I'd be
Well, we
super
had
happy
Mega
about
Man
that.
on Switch, but it came out in 2017, I believe. I think the
Yep.
launch year.
Yeah. Was
And
that 11?
yeah,
What Mega Man was that?
It was 11.
right?
It was 11. Yeah.
it's the best-selling Mega Man ever. So that's good. So why wouldn't you be making the new one? And I think there's no better place to announce it than with the company that you started Mega Man with, which is Nintendo. Okay, Sega, more Yakuza. I think we get one Persona, probably Persona 3 Reload or Persona 5 Switch 2 Edition. That's going to have higher resolution, 60 FPS. I said this in my review, Metaphor ReFantasia.
Yeah, that's another
I
lock.
said in my
Yeah.
review, last year that I expected to come to Switch 2 fully. Here's a little wild card, Skies of Arcadia HD.
Oh my God. Don't
Ooh,
even.
he's
Do
sick.
not do that to me. It's my favorite RPG of all time.
The copyright was
Stop.
renewed, and not every game gets their copyright renewed. So we'll see. Shinobi, I think we see it in a sizzle reel. And then last one for Sega, Monkey Ball. It's been happening at launch or within the launch window since GameCube on every console.
Yep.
except for, I believe, Wii U.
Do you think, not to interrupt, do you
Go
think they incorporate mouse mode in Monkey Ball somehow?
Oh,
They
that'd be
could.
fun where you control it with the. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
actually be really cool.
I think they could.
Yeah,
Be
that
down.
could be cool. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, Bandai Namco. So Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, we get the release date. I will say I still expect some sort of Zelda-related items in the game,
Hell
like
yeah.
weapons, armor, and
Sure.
I put horse shit, but I mean horse stuff. But
Yeah,
maybe we get Epona in the game. Who knows? Probably
that'd
not,
be cool.
because that lore was written by the lore of the game was written by
Yeah,
who was it?
George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they don't want to really mess with that, but I think putting in something Nintendo related, like with Skyrim, is not out of the realm. Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6 got the spotlight at launch. I think it's safe now that they can announce Tekken 8. So I think Street Fighter got its window. And then Little Nightmares Enhanced and Part 3, those were announced already. They're coming out on October 10th. I don't know what they're doing with Part 2, though. So Part 1's getting enhanced. Part 3's coming out. Nothing for Part 2.
Nothing part 2.
All right. Square Final Fantasy VII Remake, we get the release date. We already know they're working on Final Fantasy 16. The director spilled the beans on that. Kingdom Hearts native release. Again, they came out on the cloud. This is a perfect match. Switch, Nintendo, Kingdom Hearts. And then I expect to see Final Fantasy Tactics mentioned at the direct, since it comes out September 30th. EA, The Sims. It never, we got My Sims, but we didn't get the current Sims, which is on PS4. Perfect fit with mouse mode. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Again, this did not perform well. I picked up Legendary Edition, brand new, clearanced out at Walmart for $5, which is crazy because they're amazing games. And then Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor. Those are supposed to come over.
Those are good. Yeah, those are good picks too.
Koei Tecmo, I do think we see Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. It comes out July 31st. It's on my list of games to review. So I think we see that in the sizzle reel. Konami, Silent Hill 2 Remake. I do think we get that. I do think we get Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I think there's a reason why we got the collection. I expect all of Konami's remakes to actually make their way to Switch 2. And again, as I've said, if it runs on Series S, it will run on Switch 2. Here's one that historically this just makes sense. It's Bomberman. He's due to appear on Switch 2.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
Since
Wasn't
the
last game
release
totally
of
bombed?
Switch 1.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
wow.
there was Switch 1.
See what you did
had
there.
Bomberman R, right?
Yeah.
And then they had Super Bomberman R, which bombed, and they killed support after 6 months. So I'm
Yeah.
almost wondering if they would be willing to even go back to Bomberman. I would love that, but I'm worried
I'm
that
curious
that's
too.
done for a while.
The precedence is there because, as we know, going through the Nintendo launch history, as we did, Bomberman's always there at launch or at the launch window every time.
Yeah.
My wild card pick for Konami, a lot of people will probably say no, but it's Castlevania. I think there's already a historical template for it because we got Contra Anniversary Collection, and then we got the new Contra Operation Galuga. Okay. We got Silent Hill 2 Remake. Now, what are we getting? We're getting Silent Hill F.
Actually, it's pronounced Silent Hilth.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
All right.
The F's attached.
Well, now
But Castlevania, again, this is a very old IP that I grew up with. All of us 80s, 90s kids. But between the Netflix show, which done very well, the Anniversary Collection, then the GBA Collection, and then the DS Collection, Dominus. They just did the same thing with Metal Gear. They gave us all the Metal Gears, and then here's a new Metal Gear game. They gave us Silent Hill 2. Here's a new Silent Hill now. They gave us the Contra Anniversary. Here's a new Contra. This is the same template. Konami's doing the same thing by introducing their historical IP to a new audience. All right, last part. This is quick. Miscellaneous. Hades 2. I played it, the Switch 2 experience. It's coming. We know that. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That's coming out this year.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Looks
Silk
good.
Song, Mina, Yuko Replay E. I think we get a release date on that.
Sure.
We've already
sure.
seen the trailer. Atelier Ryza Trilogy DX. It was just announced a few days ago. It's releasing in 2025. Surely we should be getting a date then. The Witcher 3 Switch 2 edition. It's already rumored. It's on sale right now. If you don't have it, you should pick it up. Baldur's Gate 3.
$10 on the eShop, by the way.
Steal.
Wow.
Baldur's Gate 3. It's just a matter of when, not if. Ease X Proud Nordics. So it's due out this month in Japan. Ease X Nordics already came out. So the translation is largely done. The Nordics part, obviously it's added a little bit more, but the translation's done. So if it's coming out in Japan on the 31st of July, it's coming out in China in August. I think the US isn't very far off, and that's a massive RPG. That'd be a massive get if it comes out this year. Farming Simulator. Let me say something about this. If you played the Switch 2 Welcome Tour, I mentioned this in my review, that I expect games like Farming Simulator and Power Washing to take advantage of the Switch 2 Joy-Cons and HD Rumble. There is a demo in the Welcome Tour where you move the Joy-Con in mouse mode like a saw, and it legit feels like you're sawing a tree. It's brilliant, and I think these games will thrive on Switch 2 in ways that they can't on other platforms. Honestly. Double Dragon Revive. It'll be in the sizzle reel. And maybe, just maybe, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Amen. That's done.
Amen. Good night, everybody.
Hope it happens.
Yeah.
Good night. That was perfect.
Wrap it up.
Good night.
Enjoy talking super chats for the next hour and a half. Goodbye, everyone.
It won't be an hour and a half.
Thanks for having us.
Just
So
yeah.
long. What you guys
So
are going
long.
on? Can we dip out?
Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, Roger.
Goodbye.
Please don't
See you
go.
guys.
Enjoy DK, guys.
Yeah.
Please don't go.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
don't go.
Appreciate it. Oh my
Later.
god. Good night.
Later.
Wait, no one wanted to plug their channels?
Yeah, no one cares about plugging their shit, apparently. Yeah.
You know
Flam,
me,
will you
I'm
at least
Fav-
plug your
Hey,
channel?
Sure, I'm Favlam. I'm making a video about the Donkey Kong redesign history soon, and then
Nice.
also I'm going to PAX West. So if you're going to be at PAX West, so
Hell yeah.
Hell
maybe
yeah.
I don't think you're going to be able to do a 4-hour long podcast at PAX West Prime. You have to cut it down to an hour.
Well, actually, we can. We're not doing it like at PAX. So
Oh, okay.
we're just all going to be there together.
Watch us.
right.
We're all going to be there.
Okay.
together.
Good night, everybody.
Sir, you need to leave.
Good night, man.
All right.
All right, later, man.
Little does he know, it's a 4-hour hot tub podcast. He is right. He's just not invited.
Yeah, and it's a hot tub time machine, so it's not even going to feel like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
That'd be a really funny podcast, though, for all in the tub with like a platter with like grapes and champagne and shit. It'd be
I'm down.
hilarious.
Board.
Dude,
Yeah.
that would
totally
actually
down.
be hilarious.
Yeah.
You got to make sure it's on a floating table that we can push between each
Right?
other. Hey, pass me over the charcuterie board. Yeah. Whoop.